some intergalactic object that's hurt. There's this guy Avi Loeb. He's a professor at Harvard that believes it might be an alien probe.
For decades, NASA had a quiet, shared secret. They searched the right sky not just for rocks, but for signs of visitors. And now they have leaked evidence that 3I Atlas is artificial. To understand the shock, you have to rewind to the first time Atlas shattered expectations. Back in 2009, a different object, Comet C2019Y4, was hailed as the Comet of the Century. It was going to be a great spectacle, but as it drew near the sun, a fragile snowball did what comets do. It fell apart. It disintegrated into 30 pieces, becoming a cosmic letdown. This set the precedent. Space is unpredictable, and comets are fragile. So when the new comet, 3I Atlas, was discovered, astronomers expected another dirty, volatile snowball. What they found, however, was a physical impossibility, a clue so fundamentally wrong that the first reports were dismissed as an instrument error. What they found was the tail. Every comet has a tail, or two, made of gas and dust being pushed away from the sun by the solar wind and radiation pressure. It's the most basic rule of our solar system. But 3I Atlas wasn't playing by the rules. Part of its active ejection was pointing towards the sun. A tail blowing into the solar wind is like seeing smoke from a campfire blowing directly into the flames. It just doesn't happen naturally. While some tried to explain it away as a trick of perspective and anti-tail, multiple observations from different telescopes, including the powerful Gemini South, confirmed it. This was an active plume, a focused jet of material being pushed from the sun-facing side of the object. This wasn't random sputtering. This was an organized directional thrust, an early hint that something wasn't just active, it was controlled. This was the moment the conversation went from strange comet to, what is this thing? The scientific establishment quickly moved on to the next major clue, the object's acceleration. This is where the data leak truly began, a scientific disagreement so sharp that it points to two wildly different realities. Comets move under the influence of gravity, but they also experience a slight nudge when their internal ices are heated and released. This is called non-gravitational acceleration, like tiny random thrusters firing all over the surface. If 3I Atlas were a normal, light, dirty snowball of its estimated size, the sheer amount of gas and dust it was ejecting should have been pushing it around like a flimsy balloon. It should have been wobbling, veering, and accelerating violently. But here's the leak. Here's the data NASA tried to reconcile. 3I Atlas was barely moving off course. This tiny, nearly undetectable change in its trajectory meant one thing. The object was experiencing the same powerful outgassing as a comet, but it was behaving like an enormous, immovable mountain. For months, one prominent voice has been amplifying this paradox. Professor Avi Loeb of Harvard. He's the same astrophysicist who first suggested the previous interstellar visitor, Oumuamua, was alien technology, and his team did the math on 3I Atlas. The result was mind-boggling. To produce the observed amount of gas, yet suffer so little non-gravitational push, the object must be anomalously massive. Loeb argued that 3I Atlas must be at least 33 billion tons, possibly up to 5 orders of magnitude heavier than any other interstellar visitor we've ever seen. This makes it far larger and denser than its appearance suggests. It's the core contradiction. It's actively jetting material like a small light comet, but it's moving with the inertia of something immense. The only way the math adds up is if you assume the object is not a fragile ice ball, but a massive solid engineered body, like a warship built for density, using its small jets not for random propulsion, but for delicate, purposeful course correction. The data had forced a choice. Either the universe created a type of comet physics we have never seen, or we are dealing with something more serious. Every celestial body has a unique chemical signature, and when the world's most powerful instruments, the James Webb Space Telescope and the Very Large Telescope in Chile, fixed their gaze on 3I Atlas, they saw something truly alien. Our solar system comets are built on water ice, the classic dirty snowball, but the JWST data revealed that the 3I Atlas was different. It was dominated by an astounding amount of carbon dioxide. The ratio was confirmed to be as high as 19 parts of CO2 for every 1 part water. This suggests it formed an environment far colder and stranger than our own, perhaps around an exotic older star. It's an ice cube from the deepest, coldest corner of the galaxy. CO2 was only the beginning. VLT spectroscopy delivered the final piece of chemical data that broke the final explanation: atomic nickel. Now, nickel isn't rare in space. It's often found in meteors, but in space, nickel is almost always found alongside its cosmic cousin, iron. These two metals are forged together in the hearts of dying stars and travel the cosmos bound together. But with 3I Atlas, the instruments detected a significant amount of nickel vapor without the expected iron. Think about that. Separating nickel from iron in this scale is not a natural process. It is, however, a very common industrial process here on Earth. It's called refining. For a time, scientists scrambled for a conventional explanation, suggesting a rare type of volatile molecule might be responsible. But the sheer efficiency of the separation, the absence of the iron, was too clean. We were looking at a material that suggested industrial processing, a level of non-natural purity that screams technology. If all of these physical and chemical anomalies suggest technology, the final piece of the leaked data, the object's path, suggests intent. When an object drifts in from another star system, its path should be random. It should come from any angle, above or below the plane of our planet. But the trajectory of 3I Atlas was, for lack of a better word, suspiciously precise. It is traveling almost perfectly along the ecliptic flat disk on which all the major planets in our solar system orbit the Sun. Professor Loeb estimated the statistical odds of an interstellar object arriving on such a perfectly aligned trajectory by pure chance are infinitely small. It's like throwing a dart across the galaxy and hitting the bullseye of our solar system's orbital plane. It's possible, but it's so unlikely that you must suspect the dart was guided. The fine-tuning didn't stop there. The object's path is set to make remarkably close passes to several key bodies: Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. Not only that, it is following the most efficient and data-rich path possible through our neighborhood, close enough that NASA's high-rise camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter had a chance to capture unprecedented detail. If you were an alien probe sent to survey our solar system, this is the exact trajectory you would choose to get the most information with the least amount of energy. This chilling alignment, combined with the refined history and paradoxical mass, creates a narrative too perfect to be random. The mainstream community maintains its position. 3I Atlas is a rare, hyper-exotic type of comet, a natural body that formed under extreme conditions we simply don't understand yet. They preserve the current understanding of the universe, but the data is leaked. The evidence sits in plain sight. It's an object that defies the basic physics of cometary motion. It's too heavy for its own outgassing. It's venting on an anti-solar plume and depositing refined metal into space. Also, its trajectory is laid out like a carefully planned tourist itinerary.